Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hops Report. I'm LT.
And I'm Bacon.
And let's talk beer.
We're really getting the hang of this one.
I'm loving talking beer.
Excellent.
We're looking at another one of Bacon's masteries, another one of Bacon's inventions. Digging the color on this one, man. This one looks more like a pumpkin ale than what this is. What is this?
Well, this one is, we're calling it our Brewmaster's Reserve Series. It's something I made as a special experiment, so to speak. And it's what they call an Altbier, which that's German for old beer. The reason why they call it that is it's
This isn't
stored.
like...
No, it's not for geriatrics.
No, this isn't like... This is like, what's that show with the guy who's married to that girl? He's married to Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher. The show where like he tricks people. You're not going to trick me into like drinking some pee or something,
you're talking about the 70s show.
No, not that 70s show. The one where you're like
Punked.
You're not going to try punk me and you're like, here's one of my beers.
There'll be no punking involved.
All right, good. I'm sorry.
No,
sorry to interrupt your... what's
my
Altbier?
tirade, yes. Altbier, German. I always refer to it quickly, German Pale Ale.
Okay.
Big thing that's different, though, is the fact that it is stored a little longer at cold temperatures, essentially lagered, which does give it cleans it up a little bit, gives it a little crisper note than you'd expect out of a Pale Ale. It kind of drops out a lot of the ale notes that you get, like complex fruity esters that a lot of like British Pale Ales are known for. This has kind of got it cleaned up. It does have a very German grain bill. I used Pilsner malt, Munich malt, backbones of my favorite German beers, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. It's brand new. I just put it on tap last night. It's a little tiny bit cloudier than I want it to be, but it'll settle out in a couple of days. Again, I just put it into the serving tanks last night. So
as far as taste goes, not going to be able to tell the difference.
Oh no,
it's salt.
You won't notice a taste when it drops just with your eyes, but it's still fairly clear.
It's had a lot of color on this, man.
It's had a lot of time to lager, so to speak.
Yeah, when you say lager, I mean, when I hear lager, I think of bottom fermenting yeast in the tank, right? So when you don't you have to use different yeasts for a lager than you would use for an ale?
The word lager means to store.
To store.
So you could lager anything.
Yes.
You could lager your underwear if you want.
And I do.
Well, and it's probably better for everyone in your household.
Yes.
But no, you can lager an ale. But the word when you speak of a style of beer, a lager, yes, the bottom fermenting yeast that does ferment at a lower temperature than an ale.
That's lager as a noun, as opposed to a verb.
Diagramming sentences too. LT does it all.
Right, verb. I watched my Schoolhouse Rock growing up.
Let's give this one a shot here.
All right.
I get a lot of the good Munich malt, which is one of my favorite styles of one of my favorite malts. It's very well involved in my in my Oktoberfest beers, and that's a big favorite of mine. So we'll go, that's something I like a lot about it. But it's pretty light. It's still fairly light and crisp.
When I smell this beer, I'm getting descriptors that are consistent with the color more so than what I'm actually. Because I don't know if I'm smelling something. I'm saying like coriander.
I don't get much spice out of it, but it is crisp, and I can see how like a peppery spice or something could give you a crisp note. And that's something I'm actually very happy with about it. In the ale family, I don't expect them to come out this way. I mean, it's almost on par with like a Yingling lager.
Okay.
Or there's some German lagers that are. I don't think it's too far off of that gold that the Black Arts Gold that we had earlier.
Yeah.
It's slightly tan. I'd say it's certainly a little more tannish than the gold, but it's not too far off. And again, this it's cloudy, but we don't filter our beers here, so it's going to have a little bit of the yeast sediment in it, which will drop out for right around the time it runs out. I did do a smaller than usual batch on this because, well, it's an experiment.
I like it. I mean, it is, like you mentioned, it has roughly the same body as the Black Art Gold, but it's got a little bit more, when I first taste it, it's almost like kind of dry on the finish.
That would be very much a note of an alt beer.
Yeah, that, like on the tongue, almost because it's like a little bit dry. What would you pair this with? What would you put with this?
I was thinking Tom Petty. Tom Petty would go well with
Tom Petty.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, not too fancy, but almost everybody could like it.
All right.
Maybe
That's interesting that you went to music, and you're not kidding. But I mean, what kind of food would you put with this? See, I'd put Pearl Jam with this, but I'd put Pearl Jam
Pearl
with
Jam?
it. Yeah.
Okay, well, and I could see that too. That works pretty well too.
Yeah.
It's not too super challenging. You could have a few Pearl Jams without tapping out.
Yeah.
I'd go with something light. Like chicken would be good, but not like a chicken, like not a like Italian saucy chicken with like Alfredo sauce or Parmesan. I would stay away from something like that. But like chicken breast would go well with it, I think. I mean, this is something you could use to wash something down.
I need something juicy on this. I wouldn't go with like a chicken piccata or a chicken marsala. I would go with like a chicken. Oh, what's the one with all the tomatoes and whatnot? The
Bruschetta?
No. It's chicken with it's like a real Italian, like all kinds of peppers, tomatoes. I forget what it's called, but.
Picante? Oh, that would be
just
nice.
real juicy though. And you think you need
Juicy?
something really juicy
Yeah.
with this. I don't think you wouldn't want to go with something with an Alfredo sauce.
No, the thickness. No, I wouldn't. I'd say that you'd go with something on the light side. I mean, like a chicken salad, like a blackened chicken salad. Maybe this would go nicely with. And actually, I could see it kind of being complemented by a vinaigrette. I could definitely see that going nicely with a vinegary kind of note. So
Lime chicken.
There
Chicken with lime.
Yeah, the
lime
citrus. The citrusy
would cut this wonderfully.
And this would cut that wonderfully.
Yeah.
They would complement each other.
I think so.
Well, there we go. We've explored new territory.
Everyone, when you try this beer, have something with citrus with it.
And play Damn the Torpedoes by Tom Petty.
Right, American Girl.
So that's not a bad one either.
That's the first track on that album.
Is that?
Yeah, it is.
I'm more of a Greatest Hits guy, unfortunately. I know it's a good record. I
what
read
else?
it someplace.
Tell me more about this beer. I mean, so what was your motivation behind making this beer?
Well, to be honest, I wanted to make my Oktoberfest lager was running low, and I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up with it because lagers take much longer to make. And I said, well, I'd like to find if I am going to be caught without it for a little bit, I can make this to kind of bridge that, and I think it's going to do a solid job of it. It's also, I think, might be a good introduction to people who they're not really thrilled with craft beer yet, but they haven't found one that's not too far off the deep end to for them to enjoy it. But it's also like they haven't tried one that's close enough to their comfort zone to dip their feet in. I think it's
just a cool introduction to something different altogether. I never even heard of an alt beer. So right here, boom, you just turned me on to it. Now I can go to my buddy in the elevator and say, hey, you know what I had today? I had an alt beer.
Right on.
Well, what's that? And then I can just wax a little. I can tell them what lager means as a verb. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
might even get into some prepositions.
This is the Hops Report and your Grammar Central, I'd say.
That's right. Well, I'm LT.
And I'm Bacon.
This has been another edition of the Hops Report. We'll see you next time. Drink some more beer. Talk some more beer.
Cheers.
Look forward to seeing you then.